Welcome to Naraya Speaks, a space for the thoughts we usually keep in the journal, the notes app, and late night conversations. Here, we talk healing, relationships, self worth, grief, growth, and everything in between. So, whether you're listening while driving, cleaning, studying, or trying to figure out life in real time, I'm glad you're here. This is Naraya Speaks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Naraya Speaks. If you are new here, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. I know the consistency of this recording hasn't been exactly what I envisioned. And honestly, I wanted to begin this episode by being truthful about that. Grief changes people, it changes routines, energy levels, relationships, creativity, and even the way we move through everyday life. I think sometimes people misunderstand grief because they expect it to always look loud. They expect tears every day, isolation, sad music, darkness. But grief can also look very quiet. Sometimes grief looks like exhaustion. Sometimes it looks like distancing yourself, not recognizing yourself for a while. It looks like trying to rebuild your nervous system in silence. A lot of this season of my life has been exactly that. Learning how to regulate myself quietly, learning how to sit with my emotions without immediately reacting to them. I don't always win. Sometimes my emotions do. Learning how to protect my peace without feeling guilty for it. And if you are grieving too, I want you to know there is nothing wrong with needing space while you process your pain. Not everybody mourns loudly. Some people become quieter because life became louder than their spirit could even handle. For me personally, social media has become very overstimulating during this chapter of my life. There were so many eyes watching, but many of those people were not actually a part of my inner circle. And I'm talking about even family members. Like, we don't really speak like that, but you watch every single post and then you wonder why. It's just a little strange. Some people were just now meeting me, while older acquaintances still believe they knew the version of me from years ago. But grief changes you, loss changes you, and healing changes you too. And I think that's one of the hardest parts about losing someone while the world expects you to continue functioning normally. Internally, you're relearning yourself from the ground up. Some of you listening may understand exactly what I mean. Maybe you lost a parent, a child, a cousin, a best friend, a relationship, or maybe you lost the version of life you thought you were supposed to have. That's a good one too, where I was supposed to be at this age, for those that are still single and like, I thought I would be married now, or those that are married, like, I thought I would be happy with this. And just grieving the version of life you thought you would have right now, to all my people going through a midlife crisis in their 30s. It happens, okay? Suddenly the things that once felt normal no longer fit you anymore. The hobbies change, the conversations change, the environments change, even the way you rest changes. Some people stop sleeping, some people sleep too much. It can go either way. You begin paying attention to what drains you and what genuinely brings you peace. Some people used to like to go out a lot. Some people like to be inside more. It could go vice versa. I used to like to be home a lot. Then I like to go out a lot. I'm not sure which way it worked for you. Lately, I've found myself relearning what comfort looks like for me, relearning what kind of environments feel safe, relearning what kind of energy I want around me, and what actually brings me joy instead of distraction. I've also been learning that not every invitation deserves my presence. Even creatively, I noticed something changing within me. I recently started writing poetry again, which I thought that I wasn't able to do. I don't know if anybody knows, but the first poetry book, the second one was supposed to be out, but I'm working on it adamantly. And I noticed that my newer work does not feel nearly as heavy as my older work. It feels warmer, softer, almost like finding warmth in the middle of winter instead of only describing how cold it is. And maybe that's what healing slowly starts to look like. Like not pretending the storm never happened, but finally finding warmth while surviving it. I also think grief teaches people wisdom if they allow themselves to sit with it long enough. So when I go silent now, I'm usually processing. I no longer feel the need to react immediately to every disappointment, to every misunderstanding, or every uncomfortable feeling. Silence has become a place where clarity forms for me. And I know some people listening may relate to that too. Sometimes people who are grieving disappear for a little while because they're trying to emotionally stabilize themselves again. Sometimes people become quieter because they're learning how to think before they speak. Do I have to explain myself to people that know what I'm going through? But, some people will literally just provoke you because they like to kick people while they're down. Some people will assume they know your situation better than you do. It's really interesting. I don't know what that's about. But that shift has changed the way that I desire to work as well. So at this chapter in my life, remote work has honestly been one of the healthiest versions of work for me. And it's been one of the healthiest things for my nervous system. Peace matters to me now. Flexibility matters to me now. Being able to work without constantly overwhelming myself matters to me now. And I know there are probably people listening, especially in healthcare, who are emotionally exhausted as well. So I wanted to remind my nurses, medical assistants, coordinators, front desk staff, healthcare workers, and everyone in healthcare is evolving. There are remote opportunities and positions in care coordination, telehealth, insurance administration, patient outreach, and case management that still allow you to use your experience. And sometimes healing begins with creating a lifestyle that supports your peace instead of constantly fighting against it. I think also the reason that I wanted to do remote work to begin with, before COVID even happened, actually, was because of motherhood at the time. I do believe that the moms that are listening definitely that need that flexibility. I understand that wholeheartedly. So if you're listening and you have any resources, websites, or guidance on finding remote healthcare opportunities, feel free to email me at narayaspeaks@gmail.com. And before I end this episode, I also want to give a few gentle reminders for anyone who is currently fighting through grief. Allow yourself to grieve differently. There is no perfect way to mourn someone you love. Protect your peace unapologetically. Healing sometimes requires distance, quiet, and boundaries. Heavy on the boundaries. Please pay attention to your nervous system. Rest is not laziness. When your body has been carrying all of that emotional weight, you may just need it. Celebrate small victories too, getting out of bed, showering, applying for jobs, creating again, eating, going outside, smiling again. All of that counts because when you're grieving, I didn't realize until recently, but when you're grieving, even like the smallest mundane things can become so hard. Like doing my makeup was like an everyday thing for me. And now it's like, I don't want to. But I mean, if, when I go out, yes, I do. But just to see people like that I can see every day, like not necessarily the way it was when I was younger. And I think that, yeah, grief can make the smallest of things become the hardest of things. And please remember that grief can make you feel unlike yourself for a while. That does not mean you are broken, so to say. It simply means something meaningful changed in your life. And something meaningful changed your life. Healing is not about forgetting the people we lost. Sometimes healing is learning how to move forward while still carrying love for them. And if today survival is all you can manage, let that be enough for now. Better days truly can come unexpectedly. Stay long enough to witness your life rebuild itself. Please be patient with yourself because healing is not linear. Some days will feel heavy, some days will feel hopeful, some days you'll feel completely unlike yourself. But better days really do come. Sometimes life strips everything away all at once: your comfort, routine, confidence, relationships, sense of direction. And in those moments, it can feel impossible to imagine yourself feeling whole again. But I encourage you to stay resilient because life can rebuild just as quickly as it humbled you. And I'm living proof of that. Not too long ago, I was emotionally exhausted, uncertain, and overwhelmed. And now, slowly but surely, I'm returning back to myself. Creativity is returning, peace is returning, hope is returning. So if you feel like you've lost everything at once, just don't give up on yourself. Sometimes rebuilding happens quietly before it becomes visible. Rest assured, it is best to get better and not bitter. Till next time.